Sound. That's something most of us don't think twice about until it's not there. Yeah, it adds such a dimension to our lives that I think we're really not aware of. I think we're aware of that most when we're little kids, really, kind of unconsciously. Because I notice when little kids play, they always seem to put a sound to something. You know, a little engine noise to a car. You know. In fact, I was very disillusioned when I was a kid by the lack of sound, because I used to love Western movies. That was my favorite kind of movie, the Westerns. And in the Western, the best part to me was the fight scenes. You know, those big barroom brawls? God, I love those. The guy get hit 10 times in the face, you know? There was never anything wrong with him, just this little trickle of blood running out the corner of the mouth. Now, what gave those fights such impact was the sound. Now, you always knew it when a guy got hit, because you'd hear it. There was always that little... Remember that little sound? Oh, I loved that sound, see? And I just loved it, see? But it just wasn't there when I had a fight. First time I had a fight. First time I hit a kid. Well, I was so shocked because I went back and I hit him as hard as I could. And there was no... Now, wait a minute, what happened to the little... And I was so shocked that I dropped my guard and the other kid hit me back. And that's when I found out that's where that sound is. It's inside your head. It's the sound of your brain being destroyed. And sure enough, there was a little trickle of blood running out the corner of my mouth. With all my teeth in it. I had to get a friend to help me carry my lip home. Hey, Wes, would you give me a hand with this, please? Oh, sound was very important in games. Cowboys and Indians, cops and robbers, war. Had to have a good gun sound. And I had a good one. I had a good gun sound when I was a boy. Good ricochets. See, that's why little boys and little girls don't play well together, because girls have the worst gun sounds in the world. Worst. Little boy has a gun sound like... Little girl has a gun sound like... You can't have a good gunfight with a... I'd go outside and play with my sister, and I'd be out there... Not even a flesh wound. So little boys run off together and... Girls are a lot smarter, though, see. They just hang around and wait to develop. Because they know that when they do, boy, that's going to be it for the gun sound. That's what happened to me. First day I noticed, I retired my gun sound, took up medical practice. Opened surgery in the tool shed. Not my sign, the doctor is in. Some sounds we're not even aware of. I noticed that when I first started working as a comedian. I was traveling around America working these little bitty towns and staying in these terrible little hotels. And I'd get home after work at night, you know, late at night, and there'd be no TV or no radio. Just total silence. Complete, absolute silence. I mean, it would be so quiet that I could hear sounds I never knew existed. Hear the sound of my shoe tree straightening out my shoes. If you listen real close, you can almost hear your shoes going, It's interesting how man's conditioned by sound. I think probably one of the best examples of that is a telephone. That's a conditioned response. The phone rings, and you respond. Of course, your responses vary according to your mood or your financial standing, or in my case, time of day. Because I'm one of those people, you probably know, I'm one of those people that no matter how early in the morning you call them, they will never admit that they're still asleep.
Hello. 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 Huh? No, you didn't wake me. No, God, no. I've been up for hours. I've been out jogging and read the paper and just started working on my novel. Anyway, who is this?
It's your love call, sir.
I feel guilty if I don't. I mean, even if I work till 2, 3 in the morning, I feel guilty about sleeping late. I guess I'm a victim of that Puritan work ethic.
You're still in bed at 8? You should get up and clock in. You'll never amount to anything.
Because I have yet to read the biography of a great man who said he never got up until 2:30 in the afternoon. I guess the reason the Lou Grades of this world get up so early is they can get so much done before the phones start ringing. Because whether we like it or not, the telephone governs our lives. I mean, a telephone call takes precedent over just about everything.
Okay, Mr. Cook, just let me check out your blood pressure here. I think I... You check his blood? You check his urine? You check his wallet?
No, I'm just kidding. Well, I'll tell you, give him 100 of the same and have him call me in 2 days. Okay. Oh, listen, is that still on for Wednesday? Fine. See you at the golf club. Goodbye.
Now, Mr. Cook, let's have a look at the...
Now, I feel vaguely uncomfortable on a telephone for some unknown reason or other. I don't know why. Maybe something stems back to my childhood, because so many phobias start there, you know? They really do. I've traced one back. I always had a tendency to be a little paranoid about germs, and I never could figure out where that came from. And I thought about it and thought about it and thought about it. And then I remember when I was a kid, my mother and father were just put so much emphasis on germs. You know, I'd be outside playing, and I'd come in, my mom would be there.
You been outside? Mm-hmm. Well, then wash your hands. Why? Well, you've touched things. You don't know where they've been.
I was on a seesaw. I hasn't left the playground in 14 years.
Other people touch it. You don't know where they've been. Now go wash your hands. Did you go to the toilet? Yes. Did you wash your hands?
No, why not? I know where it's been.
Get back in there and wash your hands.
Adults never like their own logic thrown back on them, you see. Yeah, same thing at school. Teachers would be there.
Don't put your mouth on that drinking fountain. Other people do that, and there's germs all over it. Now look at this microscopic blow-up of a germ.
Julie, this awful, ugly germ. You think those are on people's fingers? And I guess I took that literally, and it got in my head, see, because it really bothers me. I'll tell you, when it's really bad is when I'm in some sort of social function, like a party or something, and somebody's talking to me, see? Now, during the course of their conversation, maybe this has happened to you, all of a sudden you'll feel a drop of saliva land on your cheek. Ever had that happen, boy? Now, being a germ freak, my first impulse is like, God damn! You spit on me, you creep! Now, you can't do something like that in a social situation, you know, so I just got to stand there and grit my teeth and let it evaporate.
Try and subtly help it along. Boy, it's hot in here.
Oh, I could brush it off real cool, see, but I'd give it away because I'd want to look at it. Because we always look at what we get off our bodies. We're always so curious as to what is there. Look at it and examine it. Always wonder, what the hell are we looking for? Maybe I'll know it when I see it. Maybe somebody will go, what in God's... Well, for crying out loud. Haven't seen that since I was 9. So I suppose my phobia with the phone sort of developed then. I don't know. I know one thing. I hate to do business on the phone, and that's because I never really trust what people are saying to me on the other end of the line. Because I've been in so many offices, like agents' offices and things, and I'll be talking to somebody on the phone, and I'll be saying one thing to the guy on the other end of the line and doing physical gestures to me that are the total opposite. Hello. Oh, good to hear from you, Harry. Where are you? Oh, that's right, up north. Yeah, you work in that club up there. Heard you did real well. Hey, Harry, how's that sweet little wife of yours? Oh, the money. Yeah, don't worry, Harry. The check's in the mail. Don't worry, Harry. I'll take care of it just like I always do. All right, Harry? Good enough, Harry. Yeah, nice talking with you, Harry. Nice talking with you. Jerk. Another thing I hate about the phone is when people try and interrupt you when you're trying to carry on an important conversation. Hello.
Hi, Kelly. It's Hal.
Hey, Hal, how you doing?
Same old merry-go-round. You win some, you lose some. One day you're up, next day you're down. But you gain on the roundabouts, you lose on the swings. Never say die, I always say. Other than that, I'm okay.
Good. Hal, listen, what about this meeting that you got lined up
It's
for me?
for a commercial.
Oh, Hal, it's not gonna be like that last one, is it? You know, the one they wanted me to dress up like a chimpanzee and drink tea all afternoon?
No, This has class. This requires a man with total artistic integrity. This could do for you what Sherry has done for Orson Welles and lager for Victor Borge.
What time's the meeting?
Oh, hello, darling. How are you?
Oh, I'm in the pink, dear.
My car won't start.
Have you checked the petrol?
What do I want to check the petrol for? I'm trying to give you the time of a meeting.
Well, what time is it?
It's 11:10.
4:30.
4:30.
Because 11:10 and my car won't start and I'm late.
Okay. I'll come have a look, okay?
What do you want to come have a look for?
Kelly.
Would you hold on, Hal? I mean, hold on. Suzanne, I'm trying to carry on a conversation here. Now, are you sure about the petrol?
Yes, I put in £10 worth last night.
Well, there's your problem right there. You used up the whole gallon coming home.
Can I borrow your car?
I gotta take it down to the garage for a checkup. Oh, look, I'll tell you what. I'll change clothes real quick. I'll drop you off on the way to the garage.
thank
Then I'll
you.
pick up
Yes,
after the meeting.
right.
Then we can have some
Fine,
dinner.
great.
Hello, Kelly.
All right, let's have a look at it then.
Well, what do you think?
What, Paco Rabanne, innit?
What?
Your aftershave, Paco Rabanne. My bird bought me some for my birthday, didn't she?
I don't know, did she?
Oh, it drives her into a bleeding frenzy, don't it? All right, Squire, if you like to switch her on, I'll give her a listen on the oscope.
You listen with the stethoscope?
Well, yeah. Gone are the days of the old Orly rag and a spanner, you know. This is high technology. I'm not just a car mechanic, I'm a combustion consultant.
What's the difference between a mechanic and a combustion consultant?
About 40 quid on your bill, John. No, switch her on and I'll give it a go.
All right.
All right. All right, you can switch it off now.
I have switched it off. What's the trouble with it? It won't stop. It just keeps running and running. It's the only car I've ever had that uses half a tank of petrol in the garage.
Oh, well, you know what your trouble is, don't you? Premature ignition.
Premature what?
Premature ignition. Common fault with cars this old. You see, your pump is working overtime and it's causing your plug to fire too soon. All right? Now then, is there anything else?
Yeah, there was one other thing, but I can't remember. Yeah, the keeps slipping in reverse every time you slam the bonnet.
Premature ignition, fix, gearbox, repair, bang out and respray the back end, and 200 cans of oil.
I'm really sorry about that display. I really am. Look, I know it's a terrible time to ask, but I gotta go to this business meeting. Do you have a car that you can loan me while this one's getting fixed?
All right. See what I can find for you.
Oh, great, a lorry. Danny Boy Plumbing Company. The pipes are calling.
Oh, God, I hate that sound. Sounds just what it feels like when you get a piece of tinfoil caught in a filling. What a way to go to a business meeting.
Going up?
Down, twit.
Lifts. It's one of those unnecessary evils that you have to go through to get to an upper floor. And I think most people feel uncomfortable on them because nobody ever talks. Did you ever notice that? I've been on lifts and I'll be standing there going up someplace and then I'll stop at the floor and the doors will open and two people will be standing out there just chattering away. And as soon as they get on, they shut up. So I'll stand there and watch the numbers. I always find myself doing that, always watching those numbers. I always wonder why. I already know the sequence. It hasn't changed in hundreds of years. But I watch it as if one day it's going to skip around or something. I think the real reason people do that is so they won't get off on the wrong floor. Because now, if you've ever done that, it's a terribly embarrassing thing to have happen. I've been on lifts, you know, and then a friend of mine or somebody I know get on. Hey, how you doing? Fine, how are you? And we'll start talking away, see? I'm not paying any attention to what floor I'm at. Then the doors will open, and I'll automatically get off. Well, here I am. See you all later. Goodbye. And I step off, and there's that terrible moment when I realize that I've gotten off on the wrong floor. Now, that always presents some sort of dilemma. I never know what to do. Should I pretend that this is a floor that I want? Or should I swallow my pride and get back on the lift and ride up with these people who now have this air of superiority about them? They know there's a fool among us. He has no conception of where he is. Probably has bad credit. So rather than go through that, I'll pretend that this is a floor that I want. This is it. See y'all later. Goodbye. Then I gotta walk around trying to figure out where I am. 8. I wanted 20. Now I gotta try and find the stairs. Because there's no way I'm gonna press that button again because I have a terrible fear that the doors will open and the same people are there going, ah! I told you he was an idiot. Pay me my 5. So rather than go through that, I'll walk up 12 flights of stairs. And I'll usually pass the person I was talking to on the way down. You too, me too. I'll be damned, 2 idiots on one lift. Oh, so I guess that's why people are so quiet. They're concentrating on the numbers. But still, it makes for a rather quiet ride. Just once I'd like to see something interesting, something exciting happen on the lift. Part of my business I hate, business meetings. They usually generate so much phony joviality and tension and pressure, you know? And I noticed that the more intense the pressure, the more nervous habits people display. My only nervous habit is that I pick up everybody else's. That's my problem. Well, better get myself together here.
So she says, well, if you want the gym slip and the warm custard, it'll cost you another £5, Your Grace. Murphy.
No, it's Kelly.
Oh, as you wish. Please sit down. I don't believe you know everyone here. That's Lionel Firp of Religious Broadcasting and Business Affairs. And this is Elliot Fugue, in charge of small wars and comedy development. And I assume you two know each other.
Sorry, what was the name again?
Mussolini, Benito Mussolini.
I don't want to embarrass your manager, Mr. Chaucer here, but when it comes to negotiations, he's a pretty slippery customer. I particularly like the way he keeps slipping off to the loo to examine his options.
I can't help it. It's a nervous habit.
How many times did you go?
4 or 5 at the most.
Well, I have you down for 17. I'm surprised he's got any teeth left in his zip.
Excuse me.
18. Only another 82 for his 100.
Well, now, Mr. Monteith, it's time we discussed final details. I'm sure Mr. Chaucer has told you what we have in mind,
No.
Well, as you know, we are in charge of the advertising campaign for a revolutionary new bathroom product. We're spending millions of pounds on the most ambitious television commercial ever made, and you will be the star,
I will?
When this commercial has been shown, you will no longer be known as just Kelly Monteith, the comedian. You will be known as Mr. Saniloo.
Mr. Sanny who?
No, Mr. Saniloo.
Now, this is the suit you'll be wearing.
When?
All the time.
Now, we have this wonderful idea for the first commercial. Harold Pinter has agreed to write it.
Andre Previn and the London Symphony Orchestra are doing the music.
What happened?
Commercial opens with a housewife going about her daily inspection of her lavatory system. She lifts the lid, and there you are. Water skiing round the ballcock on a pair of Brillo pads.
Harold Pinter wrote that?
Believe me, Kelly, an opportunity like this comes only once in a lifetime. Overnight, you'll be a household sensation.
Every time a toilet is flushed in Britain, someone will think of you.
So what about it? Yes, what about it?
Well, it's certainly something to think about. I mean, it's not something you just want to jump right into.
Well, Kelly, we need the answer straight away. Now, excuse me, gentlemen. Hello? What I want to say?
Well, as you can see, the pressure's getting to me already. Well, he gets off the phone, they're going to try and force me to make a decision. And there's 3 against 1, so naturally I feel pretty vulnerable, you know? But I read someplace once that in order to neutralize a business meeting and to put your opponents in a vulnerable position, the best way to do that is to try and imagine them in the most ridiculous, ludicrous situation that you can possibly think of.
Hello, Mr. Monteith. You see what we have to offer?
Yes, and it's, not a lot.
And we're not prepared to give an inch. And I'm not prepared to give you an extension.
That's absolutely the bottom line.
Are these the bare facts, gentlemen?
As you can see, we've got very little to hide.
Well, I think everything's been well exposed at this meeting, and I agree that you've shown me just about everything that you can. But I'm sorry, gentlemen, my offer is final. And I, at least, am prepared to stand and to shake on it.
Now, see here, be reasonable. We've shown you every possible consideration.
Very well, gentlemen. I've examined your stipulations. But unfortunately, they don't stand up to close scrutiny.
Stand right where you are, Mr. Monteith. This charade has gone far enough. It's time you were stripped of your pretensions.
It is? Yes, you're too cocky by half.
From the way I see it, you've got very little going for you.
That's the naked truth. And it's not a pretty sight.
You have no alternative but to sign the contract. You've got absolutely nothing behind you.
Well, I'll have to talk to my manager, Hal. But first, I gotta go to the loo.
Hal, you're my manager. What should I do?
Sign. They've got us by the ball points.
Hello, Ginger. Come on, it's Daddy, boy, and me pipes are calling.
Leave me alone. God, what's happened to the car?
It's been a long day. I'll tell you about it on the way home. Just get in, huh?
My mother warned me about lorry rides to shame. Come on, Danny boy, sort them out. They're all in one box.
Very funny. Look,
Look, you want to sit over here and try this?
You know where you're going?
I have no idea where I'm going. What the hell's going on around here anyway? They got all the roads blocked off.
On your marks. Get set.
Oh, that stupid lorry.
How's your eye?
Swelling. But what do you expect? I never had anybody try to stuff a racing saddle up my nose before. Suzanne, I don't think the Scotch egg is going to help.
Well, it was the closest thing we had to a steak. It was either that or a fish finger.
I'm going to try and get some sleep. This eye's killing me. Good night, Ben. Man, it's a good thing I drove into a cycle race and not the 2:30 at Sandown Park.
Just to think what they'd have thrown through the window then.
Must have been good for the roses. What am I gonna do with this stupid thing?
Ever thought of having it stuffed and mounted and hung over the mantelpiece?
Yeah, but what about the bike?